Okay. Hello, anybody watching this video, possibly me or anybody else. My name is Alex, and in this video, I am going to do a reaction video of a new AI tool within Canvas called Canvas Insights. So let me share my screen and sort of go over it in real time. So the way I got to this was that I am currently taking some classes for the California Community College's online network of educators. I signed up for a class called Assessment in Digital Learning. And in that class, in order to do the classwork for it, I also got a sandbox. So when I went into my sandbox so I can do some of the classwork for this professional training course I'm taking, again, within the CCC online ed.instructure.com. So as of November 9th, 2025, I am accessing this through the specific Canvas domain of the CCC online ed instructor domain, which is from the California Community Colleges online network of educators. So if I go into my sandbox, this is just sort of something I had seen immediately. So in this corner, I see this little star and it says Ignite Agent to access and interact with Canvas because the authorization means it's a third-party tool. So good afternoon, A. Dejan. What should we help you with today? So here are a couple of basic buttons to start off. Help me create a new assignment, show me recent student submissions, and what can you do? How can you assist me with my tasks in Canvas? So let me try that out. So let me click the first button, like what can you do? How can you assist me? Let me see what it says. And if you notice the button, like when I click it, it auto fills that question in the text box. Then I can then hit enter with. So let me see what it has to say. And as it is thinking, so here's a rundown of what it's told me it can do. So number one, it can help with course management. It can view and organize course modules, assignments, and pages. It can create and edit announcements, discussions, and wiki pages. It can set up and manage quizzes and assignments or export course content for backup transfer. For student management, it says it can view student progress and outcomes. It can create and manage groups and differentiation tags. I don't know what that means. Find specific students in your courses. In terms of communication, it says it can draft and send messages to students. I assume it would send messages either as an announcement or via Canvas inbox or Canvas conversations. It could also help and manage announcements and help with discussion topics. In terms of content organization, it says it could help create and organize modules, add content items to modules, such as assignments or pages or files, etc., and create subheaders and external links in modules. And then lastly, in terms of assessments, it says it can create and edit assignments, it can manage due dates and extensions, and view submission data. So with all that said, let me try it out. Let me ask it to make a module. Can you make an orientation module on how to use Canvas? I want the module to have a page explaining how to do assignments, a page explaining how to post and reply on discussion boards, a page explaining how to complete classic quizzes. I also want an assignment for students to practice submitting to an assignment via the text entry box. I also want some assignments. Oh, so I want an assignment for students to practice submitting to an assignment via the text entry box. I want a graded discussion board for students to practice replying on discussion boards. And I want a, let's say, 5-item multiple choice quiz for students to practice completing a classic quiz. So I gave it a lot of things. I gave it technically 7 requests. Number one, I told it I wanted to make a module. I told it I wanted 3 different content pages, and I wanted 3 different types of assignments. So that'd be 7 things. So its response is, I'd be happy to help you create an orientation module. So first, like I'll create the module structure, then add the pages. Now it's asking me confirm action, creating a Canvas orientation module. I'll hit confirm because that is what I wanted to do. And let's see how this works. I have no idea how long it's going to take. I have never had it do this. I literally just found about this tool last night as I was doing my homework assignments for the other class. Okay, so great. It says, great, I've created the Canvas orientation module. Now I'll create the instructional pages you requested. Let's start with the page explaining how to do assignments. Confirm action. Yes, confirm. And it's thinking, okay, so it did the first out of 7 things I wanted. And I'm going to check it once it creates everything. So I wanted to create or generate everything first. Then I'll actually go into the modules page to see if it actually did all those things. Okay, so it says action approved. Now to create the page explaining how to post and reply to discussion boards. Confirm that. So this is, I don't know, pretty cool. Assuming that it's all going correctly, I actually do like how quickly it is creating content without me having to do really any work other than describing what I want to be created. So it sort of feels like it is making, like, it's like I'm getting somebody to do like a contract job without having to have a back and forth with somebody about paying them or something. So I like this. Okay, now it says, let's create the page explaining how to complete a classic quiz. Let me hit confirm on that. And as I'm talking right now, as it's thinking, each time it's doing something, it's taking about, I would say, maybe 10 seconds to understand and to confirm what I want it to do. And then maybe another 10 to 15 to 20 seconds actually completing that task. So now it says, let's create the text entry assignment. So let me do that. So I also like how quickly this is taken. It's making an entire module and it's been what, maybe 5 minutes so far. Good. Now let's create a graded discussion for practice. I will confirm that. Okay, now it's saying, now let's create a practice quiz with 5 multiple choice questions. It might not be able to do this, but let me hit confirm. Because when I found out about this last night, my first thing was to try to get it to create quizzes. It was giving me issues with it. Oh, but now, okay. Just did it. Now let's add all items to the Canvas orientation module. So let me hit confirm. Oh, and as I'm thinking, I need to add like a preview and a review page. So I need to also add those 2 things. Because in order to make it more clear for students during the orientation, I need to add a page explaining, hey, this is what this module does, and this is what you're going to learn, as well as a review page to sort of summarize what students should have done or learned by completing the module. Okay, now it's asking me to confirm action, adding discussion boards page to the module. So this is good so far. I like this. Confirm action, adding classic quizzes page to orientation module. Oh, so now that it's created ostensibly all the pages and all the assignments, it now wants to make sure that I want to add it to the module. Okay, so let me hit that for adding subheaders for practice. Ooh, I wonder what that one's about. Confirm action, adding a text entry assignment. to the module. And confirm action, adding discussion board practice. Yep. The next thing's going to be the quiz. I don't think it's going to be able to do it. Adding quiz assignment orientation. Oh, and maybe it did. Or it might have misinterpreted it. Because when I tried yesterday, it could not create a quiz for me. Oh, but it says, let me check the module to make sure everything is added correctly. Okay, so here is, as I scroll down, here's what it said it did. So in terms of the things I asked for, instructional content, I wanted a page on how to complete assignments, how to use discussion boards, and how to complete a classic quiz. I also told it to make 3 activities: a text entry submission activity, a discussion board activity, and a classic quiz. And it seems to have done all that stuff. So all items have been created in the draft and published, so you can review and make any adjustments before making them available. Would you like me to make any changes to this module, or would you like help with anything else? Yes, I would like you to add a an orientation preview page and put it at the top of the module. And I would like you to create an orientation review page and put it at the bottom of the module. All right. So I've just had it do extra things aside from what I initially asked it to do, but it says it'd be happy to add the pages. So confirm action, creating an orientation preview page. Let me hit confirm. Now it's creating the page. It is thinking. All right, confirming the next action, the review page. So there we go. I'm gonna have to do one more thing. Okay, so confirm action, adding the preview page to the top of the module. Confirm. And then confirm action, adding orientation review page at the bottom of the module. And I just realized this thing is called Canvas Ignite, not Insights. It's the Canvas Ignite agent. And then I'm gonna have to do one more thing. I just realized in order to, so I know this is a generated module, I'm going to have it change the name of the module. Is there anything else you'd like to add or modify in the orientation module? Yes. Yes, I want you to change the name of the module to Canvas Ignite Agent Course Canvas Orientation. So let's see if it'll change the name of the module to Canvas Ignite Agent Canvas Orientation. So confirm action, updating module name, confirm. Okay, module name updated. Good. Okay. So the module successfully is renamed, but the module continues to include orientation preview, 3 instructional pages, 3 practice activities, and an orientation review. Is there anything else you'd like to me add or modified? No, everything you said sounds good. There is nothing I need you to modify. Okay. Now I think it's going to ask me if I want to publish it or that I need to publish it. Because I think it generated stuff, but none of the content is published. Okay. So it says perfect. Let me have this load in. So it says the module is now complete and ready for your review. So now it's saying what it did again. Is there anything else I can help you with? No, Thank you. I will go to the modules page now and review what you generated. Generated. Thank you! Exclamation mark. So I'm going to close this in a minute. Okay, have a great day and good luck with the course. Ooh, very nice. All right, so now let me close the Ignite agent. No, I want to close it. And now let me go to modules and let me see what it did. It looks like it did what I asked for. So it created a module called Canvas Ignite Agent Canvas Orientation. Module name is correct. Orientation preview there. How to complete assignments is there. How to use discussion boards, how to complete classic quizzes. And I see three actual different assignments. I see an assignment item, a discussion board item, and a quiz item. And lastly, a review page. So let me now go to see what it actually put in all that stuff. So far, this is looking good. So we Canvas orientation preview, what you'll learn, how this module works, completion requirements. All right, that's good. I like that. So let me go next. How to complete assignments in Canvas. I will say the one thing I would have liked is if I should have told it to add emojis or symbols or some type of like image or icon. Because I do like on how, even from what I can tell, it's also using good subordination. Is this? Oh no, this is a problem. So this is like, this should be a header. All these should be headers, but oh, okay. So this thing, like finding your assignments, this is a correct header because it's using heading 2. But this one, how to complete assignments in Canvas, this one is still marked as a paragraph. So there's some accessibility issues. But let me go to types of assignments. Okay, types of assignment submissions. Those are correct. Okay, so it's mostly good, except for the first item needs to be marked as a heading 2. So let me do that manually. And now let me hit save. And then now actually, let me go back to the orientation page, since I actually did not check for that. But mostly like one little boob is fine. What you learn? Yeah, same issue. Okay. So that is a consistent issue. And the reason why is because the title of the page, that's heading 1. Because like a document title uses heading 1. And then in the body of the document, it should start with like heading 2 and then use other subordinated like aspects for heading consistency. So the reason why earlier this little icon at the bottom is coming up as an accessibility problem is specifically because this should be heading 2. So what I'll also do, let me actually click the accessibility checker and let me fix it. So change only this heading style. And then let me hit apply. And it says now everything's good. So let me double check that. It's heading 2. All right. So overall, that's good. I assume because this problem came up on the orientation preview and on the how to complete assignments, because that happened twice, I'm going to assume that's a problem in all the other pages. So let me just fix that really quickly. Because if I actually do plan to use this, I want to make sure that those are fixed. Let me, okay. And again, I could either manually fix it, I could just highlight this and mark it as heading 2, or I can use the accessibility checker tool and then have it do the action. Change this headings level. Hit apply, and there we go. Okay, now let's save. And then let me go through the other ones. I'll do it for just this last page and then the review page. So let me highlight it, but this time let me manually mark it as heading 2. And hit save. And I'll probably come back and do these fixes later. So now let me go to the assignment practice text entry submission. Okay, and it did it. So look, as it says, text entry submission practice. This assignment will give you practice submitting text, work using the text entry option. And notice, right? So the heading 2, and the subordinated item is heading 3. So that's okay. It also automatically assigned points. And in this submission type, it automatically marked it as online with text entry. So that's perfect. I only wanted to do text entry because you can, in reality, all these other options, you could do all of the other options specifically on the text entry box. So that's good. There's no due date, but that's okay because I wanted this to be a practice thing anyway. It really doesn't have to get done. So that's fantastic. I am super stoked that that had worked. Now, oh, okay, here's one. Let me see how this works. So let me go to edit. I think it does the same thing. Yeah, heading 2, instructions, share your thoughts. Oh, it doesn't really say how to post anything. Okay, it just says what to post generally. Okay, but aha, here's something that came up. I told it I wanted it to be a graded discussion. So if I look at the options, participants must respond to the topic before viewing other replies. I don't like that. I think people should be able to just see what's on the discussion board. So I'm going to uncheck this, but I'm going to manually mark graded because that's a mistake Canvas, the Ignite agent, did not do. I specifically wanted it to make it a graded discussion board and it didn't do it. So now I guess I'll have it do that instead. I also allowed liking. I should have told it that also to turn on that option. Points possible. I'll just give it 5 points. And everything else is good. Like most of like the content is already taken care of. Then lastly, let me try the practice quiz. Let me see what it created. Okay. Oh, I also should have given it directions on what specific settings. So good. It is marked as a graded quiz. These options, these are default quiz options. So normally shuffling answers is unchecked, time limit is unchecked, multiple attempts is unchecked, but let students see their quiz responses and let them see the correct answers. Those are by default on. So I know that that's generally for a classic quiz, those are default options. So let me go to the actual questions. So the basic content in the description and the settings are good. I would manually change those. So I would allow multiple attempts because for me, it's an orientation. So just let them do it like unlimited. I don't care. And I would say, no, I'll just leave that for right now. So let me check the questions. Well, look, no questions. So that is actually an issue. It created the draft of the quiz, but there are no questions in here. So that's something I'm gonna have to go in and then manually add, which sucks because I can't think of any questions. Okay, but for right now, uh, it made generally the quiz so I can go in and edit it at any time. So for now, I'll just hit save. And now I'll go to the last page, the orientation review. And let me hit edit on this to see. I bet this one, yep, this one's also marked as a paragraph when it should be heading 2. But I actually like what it created for the preview and review because it even shows like it's really simple. Like it's not a whole bunch of reading, it's not a whole bunch of text. It's just enough to let me know like oh this is like a recap of everything. Oh, need help? I should have asked it also to add maybe hyperlinks to support guides or something. But overall, looks good. Let me go back to modules. And I personally think generally it did what I wanted it to. So I think this is great. So let me recap this. So my name is Alex, and in this video, I wanted to go over an AI tool in Canvas called Canvas Ignite Agent. The way I accessed it is that in the California Community College online network of educators, I signed up for a class, an online class called Assessment in Digital Learning. That class gave me access to a sandbox so I can do assignments for that class. But in my sandbox, at the top, I see a button that says Ignite Agent. And by clicking on the button, I was able to open up the bot and then able to have it create a module for me. I had it create content pages and I had it create assignments for me. It wasn't perfect, but it is a good first start. So if nobody's ever used Canvas, this is a great tool. So I'm going to end things right here. I hope this was really useful to you. Again, Today is November 9th, 2025. This is like the first, it has been less than 24 hours since I have seen this. So I hope that if any of you are watching this, that you also got something out of it. So I'm going to stop right there and just say thanks for watching, everybody. See ya.